Alright guys, in today's video, I'm going to be counting down the top 5 most underrated roller coasters that I've ridden. And in this video, I'm just going to be comparing the general consensuses of these roller coasters to my own opinions. Normally, I hate talking about underrated, overrated, but I just figured it would be fun to make a video on this. So starting off at number 5, we have Wicked Twister at Cedar Point. And this coaster is just overlooked really badly. People say this is one of the worst, quote-unquote, good rides at Cedar Point, but I personally disagree with that. Just for one moment specifically, if you're sitting in the back row, going up the second vertical spike backwards, this thing is just crazy. That moment is just honestly so freaking wicked. I get it. But I mean, that moment just gives such good laterals. And I mean, it's just definitely an underlooked roller coaster, and I truly think this is honestly right down the middle of Cedar Point's lineup. It's definitely up there with some other underrated roller coasters. Speaking of which, at the number 4 spot, we have Roo Guru at Cedar Point. And I mean, Wicked Twister's overlooked, but this coaster is just straight overhated. I mean, people say this thing's rough and gives some horrible headbanging. And I mean, if that's the case, I feel like Chinese SLCs are going to be a breeze because this thing isn't bad at all. I mean, it gives some headbanging here and there throughout the second half especially, but I mean, just keep your head forward, dude. I didn't find it rough, and I sat in the front row. Maybe that's why I didn't find it rough, but it still wasn't rough at all. Like, my goodness, people really, it's not that bad. And this ride is pretty intense. It is an old school B&M, so some of the inversions were actually really forceful. And in my opinion, if this had a better second half, this could be the best fullest coaster I've ridden. So now at the number 3 spot, we have Joker at Great Adventure, and the spinning on this ride is just absolutely out of control. And this is another one that I think is kind of hidden in Great Adventure's lineup that I personally think is top 5 in the park, better than Nitro. That's my big unpopular opinion about this roller coaster. The reason why I like it better than Nitro, you just feel so much more out of control, and if you're sitting in the back car, you get whipped over these drops pretty nicely. And overall, Joker's just a really, really good ride, and I really think I just love the out-of-control factor you get on it. And now at number 2, we have Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great Adventure, and one word to describe this thing is intensity. And I mean, this thing is just intense from start to finish. I mean, the freaking loops give whip, the corkscrews give whip, or flat spins, or whatever they're called. I mean, these helixes are just gray out and leg-numbing worthy. I grayed out on this ride like twice. That's kind of because I'm prone to graying out easily. But I mean, this ride is just so intense. Like, the leg numbing is absolutely crazy. This is the most leg numbing I've experienced on a roller coaster, which is something that I find great because it means intensity. I mean, everything about this ride is just so intense, and that's why it's coming in at the number 2. But anyways, guys, coming in at the number 1 spot, we have Mindblower at Fun Spot Kissimmee. And is it underridden? Yeah, it is pretty underridden, but is it underrated by the people that have ridden it? Yes. Oh my goodness, this coaster is extremely underrated. I mean, like, this coaster has, first of all, really good intensity. And I mean, intensity in a wooden roller coaster is like my favorite freaking thing ever. You're just like being thrown around. Those bank turns are really forceful. All the airtime moments are great, and another great thing about this ride is the pacing. Other than maybe this one hill about halfway through the ride, this ride honestly keeps a great pace throughout the ride. Pretty much every hill, other than 1 or 2 hills, like I said, gives some good airtime. That you're just out of breath at the end of this ride. This thing is, again, so intense. All the bank turns are really forceful. You're just glued to your seat. The airtime is really good. It's more ejector-ish than other roller coasters in Orlando. For a long time, I have this roller coaster in my top 10 over coasters like Mako, Millennium Force, which is kind of slightly toxic. But personally, this roller coaster is one of my all-time favorites. It will remain that way. And I just think people truly do not love this roller coaster as much as I do. Therefore, I think that is the most underrated roller coaster that I've ridden. So anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe for more content. Be sure to check out other videos on this channel. And as always, I will see you all later. Peace out.